자동차를 사기 원하세요? 주택 구입에 꿈이 있으신가요? 미국에서 여러분의 크레딧 스코어는 무엇보다도 중요합니다. 여기 크레딧 리페어 보스에서 여러분의 크레딧 스코어를 교정해드립니다.
600점과 700점, 여러분의 미래가 바뀝니다.
지금 206-321-7404로 전화하셔서 크레딧 문제를 해결하세요.
안녕하세요. My name is Brrizendain and I'm the Recycling Project Manager for the City of Federal Way, and I'm responsible for all the recycling and waste-related education that goes to the residents and businesses of Federal Way.
Could you please give us the recycling overview of City of Federal Way?
Certainly. First, I want to clarify that all the recycling that is put in the recycling carts and dumpsters in Federal Way is recycled. We've heard a lot of things on the news, but it is being recycled. One of the things that I like to update people on is the numbers no longer matter. So when you turn the plastics upside down, and you'll see those little numbers 1 through 6, those are just the resin codes. So it doesn't really have much to do with if it's recyclable. Plastics should always be recycled based on shape. So bottles, jugs, and dairy tubs. And one of the other things we want to clarify on recycling is that it needs to be clean, dry, and empty. If there's material, so water or juice left in containers, that leaks out onto the paper and ruins the paper for recycling. So just keep them clean, dry, and empty, and all that material that you put in your recycling cart can be turned into new items.
And what is the Federal Way's garbage and recycling contract all about? What is it looking like right now?
So the city just signed a new contract with Waste Management last year to provide new recycling carts and other benefits to residents. One of my favorite benefits is what we call the annual bonus curbside pickup, which means anyone with, any resident with current garbage service through Waste Management can get a once-a-year pickup of up to 3 bulky items and 20 bags of garbage at no cost. So they just have to call Waste Management to schedule that.
And what other benefits do we have?
So we also provide used cooking oil pickup at the curb. So it can't be easier. You just put your cooking oil into jugs, generally about a 1 gallon size, label with your name and address, and put it next to your recycling cart on recycling day. They'll take up to 3 gallons of oil per pickup, up to 10 gallons per year, all for free.
And do businesses get any other bonus on the side through this new contract?
Great question. So all Federal Way businesses that have garbage service are eligible for 2 free recycling carts. And the great thing about this is even if you share your garbage service, so if you work in a strip mall, your business still gets 2 free recycling carts. So again, all you have to do is call Waste Management to set that up. And their number is 253-833-3333. We have these wonderful guides that we have translated into Korean that we can send out to any resident who would like them. They're also on the Waste Management webpage, and they have all the information about the contract and what's recyclable in Korean.
That sounds awesome. And I've also heard that you guys have plenty of shredding events going on throughout the year. Could you tell us a little bit more about your shredding events and some of the upcoming ones that we may be aware of?
Certainly. So in the new contract, shredded paper can't go in the recycling or the yard waste. So the city wanted to make sure this material wasn't going in the garbage. So we are working with financial institutions and nonprofits to host monthly shredding events. So the upcoming events will be Saturday, April 10th at BECU, and then we have Saturday, May 15th at El Centro de la Raza, and Wednesday, June 10th at Umpqua Bank. So these are all listed on the Attorney General's website. So if you search Washington Attorney General shredding events, they'll pull up with a list of all the shredding events in the area that residents can go to for absolutely free. They're drive-through events, so you don't even have to get out of your car. And they'll accept up to about 2 boxes or 3 bags of material per event.
So what does it mean to go to a shredding event? What do people typically bring and what do they do for you?
Great question. So The shredding events are for properly disposing of your confidential documents. So anything that has your social security number, banking information, tax information that you don't want to get out to the public, you can bring to these events, and the workers there are all certified, and they have a shredding truck on site, and they shred all of that information right there in front of you. So you know that your material and your information is not going anywhere.
And this is still going on during COVID-19 pandemic period.
Yes, ma'am. All of our workers have gloves and masks, and we ask people to stay in their vehicles for safety protocols.
Sounds good. And last but not least, we've heard South King Tool Library, which I think it would be very helpful for all homeowners, especially now the spring is coming forward. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the South King Tool Library opened last summer, and they provide free checkout of tools and equipment that you can use to improve your home, your yard, or even your small business. They specialize in things that you don't use very often. So think about pressure washers, saws, sanders, things that you may only use once a year, once every few years. You can go check those out for free. The sharing program we're involved in because it really reduces waste.
Okay, so how do people get their hands on these free tools?
So if you visit their website at southkingtools.org, you can sign up for a free membership, and then you can check the inventory. And not all the materials are in inventory, so if somebody's looking for something specific, all you have to do is, there's an email address and phone number. You can call, text, or email with what you're looking for, and the director or one of the volunteers will respond back and let you know if that item is available. So we're really happy to have this organization in Federal Way.
And up to how many tools can an individual take out at a time?
I believe it's generally about 10. So it depends. Some of the higher value items might have a deposit on them if you haven't ever checked out before. So if you're wanting to pick out a $600 compound miter saw or a welding kit or a chainsaw, they might ask for a deposit until you really establish yourself as a lender. But otherwise it is free. Everything is donation based with the organization.
Great. And how long has this been going on, you said?
So I started working on it in my job at the city, planning it 6 years ago. And then we ended up handing it kind of off to the community to launch. And so they opened in June 2020. So even with the COVID pandemic, now everything's done on online reservation. You reserve your tools, you schedule an appointment to pick up, and then you just do a drive-through. Again, you don't even have to get out of the vehicle. They'll load the tools straight into the car for you.
Well, perfect timing because everybody was home to do their home renovation during pandemic period.
Absolutely.
Great. And lastly, green living classes. You guys also offer a lot of educational courses.
Yes, so the city works with different nonprofits and organizations to provide free virtual classes to the public. Due to COVID, we are doing 100% virtual this year. And these classes range from a variety of topics, from green cleaning to gardening to food preservation. So the website is cityofederalway.com/greenliving. And we have wonderful classes coming up, container gardening, natural yard care, and then our whole food preservation series, which includes canning, pickling, and dehydrating.
And this is just not restricted to Federal Way residents only, right? If it's online, it's actually open to public in general?
Absolutely. So the shredding events, the South King Tool Library, and the Green Living classes are open to anyone.
Wow.
So we're hosting them. We use funding from the state and the county, so we welcome all residents to participate.
Wow, thank you so much. Last but not least, do you have any specific message for our Korean American listeners?
I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I am here to answer any questions. I don't speak Korean, I don't read Korean, but I definitely understand that we have almost 15% of our residents that are Korean, and we want to make sure to serve them. So please reach out if you have a question, if you want advice on something. We will find translation services if needed to make sure that we are able to serve you and answer any questions you have. My cell phone is 253-455-4866. 888-888-04, and I can take calls or texts. And my email is recycle@cityoffederalway.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.